What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Yes, You Guessed It. Let's take a walk. I hope everybody had a great week. I definitely did. Um, we are here together and we are safe. This is the best time of my week. Um, Tonight, as always, Eltar is bringing you the most interesting, thought-provoking, business-minded folks. And tonight is no different. We got this young lady has been on this platform probably more than anybody else that I've had on this show. So to say the very least, she is a veteran, to use her term. She is a veteran on this platform. So
Yeah.
this is Miss Nikea Marie. She is a entrepreneur, a business owner, a recording artist, a motivational speaker / minister. I mean, she fills the popcorn machine, she waters the flowers, she opens the doors, locks the doors at the end. I mean, you tell, she washes the windows, she takes the trash out. I mean, you name it, she does it. This is
Oh
this
my
is
God.
a Jill of all trades.
That's
Um,
right.
Tonight we're going to be sitting down and talking with this young lady about her new single entitled "Good." Um,
Yay.
Listen, if you have not heard this young lady's project, Breathe. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Oh my God. That's all I can say.
That's all you can
But
say.
but before we go into that,
Okay.
for those of you who may not be familiar with Miss Nikea, I'm going to give her a moment to kind of reintroduce herself and just give a little background to who she is and some of the things that she has going on at this point in her life, in her career. So with that being said, Miss Nikea, you have the floor.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. And I'm so grateful to be here. Yeah, 4 times I am a veteran. So you should give something to us.
I
I was like,
got you.
where's the prize? Like, no, but
I got you. Offline, I got you. I
okay, all
got you.
right. So no, but I'm so grateful to be here. I am Nikea Marie. I'm a singer, songwriter, actress, and then I'm a wife, a mama, a friend, a sister, worship leader. I just, love God and doing all things that He's asked me to do. It's a lot, but hey, I'm here for the challenge. Also, getting ready to do some master classes to help other artists with this business and with music and writing and bringing us all together in a community to assist in helping people reach their next, because that's something that I didn't have. I made a lot of expensive mistakes and I paid for them. So I wanted to give back to the community and have a space. Me and Marette Brown Clark are getting together April 13th, and we are going to be getting all the information you need to be successful, and also put us in the room. Sometimes you're an artist and you're looking for a producer. Sometimes you're a producer looking for an artist, and all of them will be right there. I made a lot of, like I said, bad moves, chasing the wrong people who I had to redo songs because I wasn't working with the right people. So they were very expensive mistakes. So we just want you to avoid them. And we're going to sing. We're going to have giveaways, studio time giveaways to make sure you get the best quality studio and mixing. So it's going to be amazing. So check out my Facebook page and you'll see the flyer. Go to Eventbrite. And it is our lunch and learn. You're going to eat good. And we're going to have a great time question and answering whatever you need to know. You can ask. And I just want to help the next group behind me. But outside of that, I have a new single out called Good. Man, it's one of my favorite songs. And did you hear it, Mike? What you think?
Come on. Come on.
Because
Really?
I know you're biased because you're necessary. So I know you're not really, I don't know what you feeling.
Come on. Listen. You offended me just now.
No,
I'm
I'm just
offended.
asking because I know the last time you was like necessary. That's my song. So I know this isn't necessary. So I just wanted to ask, how we feeling
Okay.
about it.
Necessary is still that is that's that one. That's that
Okay.
one. That's the joint.
That's still your one.
But
Okay.
but seriously speaking, Breathe as a body of work. I mean, there is no song on there not to say, oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Everything on there is dope. All the production is dope. The writing is dope. The presentation is dope. Like, listen, necessary is necessary.
Yes, it is.
But good is also it's one of them ones. And like I said, that just the project as a whole, personally speaking, is probably one of the best put together projects that I've ever heard from any artist. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
From
well,
any,
you
so
just
like,
saying, let me record that. So say it again. Say
stop
it
it.
again. Like, no, just
I'm
playing.
gonna
No,
tell
seriously.
you, it's two artists that you're only the second artist that I've said that about. The first
Wow.
artist is a young lady that you probably know, Brittany Wright.
Oh, I love her. I love Brittany
That's
Wright. We all in the DMV. We all in the
exactly,
DMV though.
exactly. That's what I was saying. So
Yeah.
like that, she's the only other person that I've said that about
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm
because
very much grateful for that because I know that's a big deal because a lot
yeah,
of people aren't doing albums anymore. They're just doing singles. So to have a
right.
full body of work, it's a lot of work. But I'm excited. I think the project it still hasn't done what it needs to do. We still have so much room with it. And it's some major things happening this year that I'm really, really excited about. And yeah, sometimes you're like, hey, I did this a year or two ago, and God's timing always lines up to say, okay, this
Right.
is for now, and this is still, the sound for now, and it's timeless. Sometimes you just have a song that you're like, it can last for a long time. I think good is
Mhm.
never would have made it. They said, it's
Yeah.
like you're just always gonna enjoy listening to it. Never will get old. So that's a blessing to me that you can create music that people just constantly want to hear and listen to and be encouraged by. So like you're necessary is necessary. So
Absolutely.
that's going to come up next. We're going to make sure we look out for you and throw your necessary as a single and do a video so you could be in the video shoot.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let me be a shrub or a bush or
Oh
or
my
a mailman or something. Absolutely, absolutely.
So yes, you can
Um,
you can be in it.
absolutely. Listen, what since we last spoke, I was looking, and I think um we haven't spoke since 2021. I think.
Yeah, it's been a couple years.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So, what have like ultimately what have you been up to like in these few years? Like I know that I've seen you on plenty of platforms. Like I think I saw you on Erica Campbell's show and a few others. I'm like so what has life been like? Like what have you been up to?
It's been a whirlwind of a lot of different things. And a lot of it is not necessarily being in the spotlight. So a lot of
Mhm.
things God has really been dealing with me behind the scenes and um just growing and really figuring out, okay, what am I supposed to be doing outside of this? Because yeah, I know that what he's called me to do is bigger than me. So I'm just like, all right, God, like what's going on? So I took some time to really get some clarity. Hey Jana, sorry, that's our manager. Hey girl. Um, so yeah, so I've been just doing a lot of things behind the scenes. My husband and my family, we did a big move, and we moved from where we were. So that was a change. And in the
Mhm.
process of me moving, it was like God was like, "There's some things I need you to do." And literally, a ministry called and was like, looking for a worship leader. So I joined the ministry out in Fredericksburg, Zion Church of Fredericksburg, and they
Mhm.
have just been a true blessing to me. They have stretched me. I love leading those amazing worshipers there. The people, they support me like no other. So I'm so honored for them. So a lot of the things I've been doing has been really pouring into the team and really pushing the ministry. So that has been an added bonus and a blessing outside of the other things that I've been doing, which is, getting back in the studio. Hey, Tamanya. Hey, Crystal. Sorry, I see some of them on there. That's the Zion and Fred folk. But yeah, they're, it's just really a blessing. Like I said, just to get back in the ministry, get into the music, and not lose any piece. I know that I have so many things to offer, so I just was like, okay, I can do it all. But I wanted to really lay the foundation for the worship ministry aspect, because that was really important to me in the season.
Mhm.
And now my manager was like, all right, it's time to it's time to get back moving. Like,
Right.
that's great. And we're still, still there, but now it's time to get back to the music. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for what's coming. But yeah, God has just had me really focusing on that. But now I'm back. So yeah.
Okay. So tell me about good. Like why good? Why now? Well, what's the story behind the song? And this is a big ball. This is a big ball of question right here.
Oh Lord.
Um, what does good represent in your life at this present point as an artist? What does the creation and the release of this song
Yeah.
represent in your life at this present moment?
I would say good was really a song of faith, because nothing was going good when I wrote it. So,
Mm,
and I
right.
didn't feel good. Nothing. I didn't really know what was going on, but I just made the declaration to say, no matter what, God is still good, and I'm going to press through.
Mhm.
My producer, Marcus Halliburton, who I love, he's my brother. We've been working for a long time, and he had a track, and I was really having my own mental things happening, and just kind of in a space. It was a little dark. And I was just like,
Mhm.
what? I'm going to just declare, God, you're good. And he sent me this track, and he was like, hey, see what you could do with it. And the minute I hit play, I literally, the words just started coming. Like, I was like, okay, like merciful, like wonderful. Like, I just started taking my eyes off my situation and putting it back on him,
Right.
because I knew things would shift when I did that. And so it was really like, God, I know you're good. Even in the midst of the bad, I know that you're good. When we were trying to move, it was so many things that were trying to stop us from moving. We literally, it was supposed to be like a 2-month process. It took 9 months. And
Wow.
we didn't
Wow.
even know if we were going to be able to move. Like, the people that had the house we were trying to move into, they were believers, and the banks were acting funny and trying to come back and say we didn't qualify. It was just crazy. And I was just like, Lord, like, I know you told us we were supposed to be here, but things were just not going the right direction. And I was literally in the process of that, writing God, you're good, declaring we're going to move. We're going to get the promise that you told us. And literally, the people, every month we were supposed to have closed, and we had to extend it. And they were like, okay, no problem. And then we extended, like, literally it was supposed to be 2 months. It was 9. And the people
Wow.
just was like, no problem, no problem. And I was just like, Lord, like, just to see, like, even in the midst of the chaos, like, the
Right.
patience, even their realtor was like, we've never extended this long. Like, we could have easily put it on the market. Like, it's in the time where people are getting 30, 40K, 60K above asking, and we
Mm,
gave whatever was asked. So we knew they
yeah.
could have got way more, but they were like, no, it's okay. Like, we're being patient. And that
Right.
was just like, wow. And I'm literally writing, God, you are good. Even though I don't know what's happening month to month, even though they're
Right.
telling me I'm not gonna get it. And I just declared that. I was like, no, I know that this is where we're supposed to be. And we stood on that. And man, it's been a testimony just to see God in his hand. And literally, when we moved, finally, when we got all that stuff figured out, it was just a bunch of
Right.
foolishness.
Right.
And it was all said and done, and it was time to move in. And our neighbors were like, hey, we prayed for a Christian family, and we prayed for you. And it was just all God, man, just for us to be in a community of believers. They was like, we're going to have the block. Like, God is going to get this block. And
Right.
our street name is Right Court, and so we was like, everybody gonna get right on Right Court.
Okay.
but but yeah,
That,
that was the song, like literally just processing through and saying God is good. Like, yes, you are. Yes, you are, God. You are good. Like, your goodness and mercy is all I see. That's what I said. Like it doesn't matter. Like, your goodness and your mercy, that's all I see. I didn't focus on what it was being in my face. I focused on what he said. So yeah, and
yeah,
that's where I am now, consistent in saying, like, no matter what, like, God, you are good. And so I'm living in his goodness. I am dwelling in the goodness of God. So that's that song. And it just means so much to me.
that's amazing. And the thing of it is that it's, as Christians, perspective is so important.
That part.
So, like, we look at things that happen to us and to other people, and sometimes our perspective of it is not where it should be. And
Right.
like,
For
God has
sure.
been showing me, and I've shared it with a couple of people, that not only does God want us to be good stewards of the blessings that we have, he
Mm-hmm.
also wants us to be good stewards of the bad things that happen to us too.
For sure. Yeah.
Because you could have looked at what you were going through and said, okay, this is horrible. This is bad.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? This is awful. This is the worst thing that could happen. Any number of negative ways.
Yeah.
However, but your perspective is saying not. But instead of saying that, your perspective is totally opposite, and you're saying, okay, in spite of this, in spite of that,
Come on.
even
Yeah.
though that, I'm
Come on.
still doing doing this amazing thing. And so now, instead of being drained from all the negativity that you could feel, you're
Yeah.
empowered now. And now you came out with a house and a testimony. So
Come on.
now he allowed your life, and as we always say, life be life, and
Life was life,
but
man.
it's the gift that keeps on giving. Like,
For sure.
now, not only has he given you a home, he's giving you more ammunition. Like,
Yeah.
he's giving you more inspiration to write, more perspective to write from, more to
Yeah.
share with. So now, you have the potential to do, or opportunity, to expand based off of something that you could have easily interpreted as a bad thing. That's amazing. That's
Yeah, and
amazing.
I love God's lens, that's the one thing
Mhm.
he continues to tell me, like, you have to see from my viewpoint. And sometimes, we stay here, but when you go here, it's like you see it different, at a different
Absolutely.
level. And he says it takes you from faith to faith and faith to faith. Like, I've
Absolutely.
seen this before, when we tried to move before, we had some similar situations and God brought us through that. So I was like, yo, I got history. So I know he's going to come through. So,
Right. Right.
he's not going to fail me. I have too much history. I've seen him, do so much. So, like, what is this? I've dealt with the lion and the bear. What is this uncircumcised Philistine? Like, this ain't
Right.
nothing. Like, like, we're
Right.
going to slay the giant. God, you're going to come through.
Right.
So, when I would
Right.
get in that space, God was just like, don't forget, don't forget what I've done in the other areas. But this house was a little bigger than that one. So I was just like, I don't really know, but he was just like, nah, look at my lens, look through my view. And yeah, just trust me. So I was like, all right, you got me. And yeah, it's something, and he's sharpening me, and he's doing some things, and I'm growing, and I'm becoming stronger, more confident. Like, there's some things that I needed to grow in and learn. And now, like you
Right.
said, it is your life. Like, my life is an example, and I'm excited for the journey. Like, that's the best thing I could do for people, is to be a living testimony, and for them
That's
to
the
see
point.
God and to
That's
see,
the
hey,
point.
yo, she didn't give up, she didn't quit. Because then I had another friend that was dealing with the same thing. I was like, girl, let me tell you my story. Let me tell you what
Right.
happened. And we
Right.
just trusted God together, and she got her home, and she got through what she needed to get through. So
Right.
I was like, all right, God, I see what you're doing.
Right. And you had receipts. I'm gonna tell you, my aunt just told me the other day. Every time I talk to her, because she's around close to 80. I hope I'm saying that right. She's close
Oh,
to 80, but she always give me one. She said, if you ain't tried it, you can't prescribe it. You know what I'm
come
saying?
on, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so
That's
that
right.
and that's something that that's something that I'm gonna absolutely take with me because it's the fact. You got receipts. Like you can
I
say
do.
it happened to me. I went through that and I made it through that. I'm on the other side of that.
That's
So I
right.
can, I can minister and I can tell people that, what God can do anything.
That's right.
Um, going forward, like, and I ask this question a lot too, like in your creative process, right? Now, you're in a genre there are so many amazing artists that do things that might not be the same as you, but maybe
Yeah.
maybe similar to what you're doing, and maybe they may seem a little further ahead, maybe. So,
Yeah.
um, so with that being said, is it a challenge for you ever to chase a sound? Um,
Mm,
Especially when, like I said, you might see artist X doing a certain amount of certain thing, and it may be working for him or her, quote unquote, working, quote unquote, for
right,
him or
right.
her. And you're like, man, I'm over here doing what I'm doing, but it
Yeah.
seems like artist X is making more impact doing what he or she is doing. What is there ever a challenge for you to chase a sound?
It used to be. I would say I used
Mhm,
to be that person to be like, oh my God, I got to do, this. I did chase the sound and it got me nowhere. Like I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do my song because it doesn't sound like what's hot right now. So let's do this. And nothing worked. Like I used to
mhm.
change it up and say, well, I'm not going to do that kind of song because this is what's popping right now. And so
Right,
I would change it in a heartbeat. I'm in the studio, like, all right, now we scratch that. Like, what's hot? Let's go with that. And then
right,
they would be like, no, we don't want it. It's not it. It's not working. And now I'm
right,
just like, yo, like you run your race. Like I think that's the thing God's always just telling me. Like when I did I Believe in Me and I'm walking in the middle of the road, he was like, create your own lane. Like stop trying to fit in and be the next. And that was a lot of thing with the business. They would say we want to make you the next, and I'm like, nah, like I'm original. I don't want to be the next anything. Like I want to be
mhm,
Nikea, but I struggled in that area because I wanted to be successful, and success to me was what whoever was doing it that way, then I needed to
mhm.
mimic that. But God was
Right,
like, no, like do it the way I told you to. It cost me a lot to go in there and try to do what someone else was doing, and they do that great. And for me, I'm really big on the body of Christ and knowing that there are so many parts of the body that everybody is needed and necessary. So the hands, the arms, the feet, the nose, the eyes, like you all have a
right,
major part to play. So I don't want to be like the nose if I'm an eye. Like I want to do what I'm supposed to do as an eye, so that
right,
I could be effective where I'm supposed to be,
right,
and not look at the nose and be like, yo, you can sniff, I can't. Like stay in
right,
your like you're doing something that they can't do, and
right,
you have the audience that you reach and they may not reach, but we're still doing the
right,
work of the kingdom. So we're all
right,
working together. So I'm really like I'm grateful for that process to learn that it's not about mimicking and being copying someone else, but being authentic and original the way God told you to do it. It don't matter if 100 people listen to it. I'm gonna do it the way God told me to, and those 100 people were maybe what I was assigned to. Like I really stopped chasing after the stage, and COVID really hit me to
mhm.
say, I was addicted to the stage. Like I really
Mm,
almost lost myself, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what do you want me to do? Like I missed it. It was like a
yeah,
drug for me, and if I didn't have it, I was losing myself. Like who am I? Like if I'm not out up there, what am I doing? And so yeah, like God was like, nah, sit your tail down. And get back to what you're supposed to do and get your life right. So I was like, all right, COVID knocked me down real bad, but it was necessary for me to say, it's not about the stage, it's about giving him glory no matter what. He actually called my husband and I to do ministry in our home, and it was like, at first I was like, can't nobody see us in here? I was like you said, what you been doing? Like, you didn't know what was happening in my house.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but literally, like, God was like, nah, like, you do this in your home. It was no cameras. Like, I mean, we've had deliverance services. We've had a lot of stuff popping off in here. We had, but it was like, take you back to this is what you're supposed to be doing, which is whatever God says. And people come here all the time, and we have an amazing time. Like, we do Bible and brunch. We have brunch here. We get the word. We pray. Whatever God wants to do. But it was not on the stage. It's not. No one's recording. It's private. So that was what God was like. You need to get back, get back to where you're supposed to be with me. And then the stages are coming, because I had to remember, like, it's not about the stage, it's about giving him glory. And it doesn't matter if I'm in my house, nobody knows. It doesn't matter if I'm on an award show or if I'm not. Like, I'm good and God is good. So so again, everything I've gone through has really impacted me and really allowed me to get back to my why and get back to what he's asking of me. So yes.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And I don't know if you remember or not, but when the last time you were on here, you were talking about the breakfast and brunch. So I guess this has been going on for some time.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I remember.
But
I
it's
remember.
a blessing. Yeah, it's been a blessing, and I'm just so grateful for it. And we usually do it a lot more often, but we're getting back to it again, because it can be a lot on you, because it's very, like, it's very powerful. So it can take a lot out of you, but it's needed. And it's a lot of young adults that come because it's authentic, and we give them a room to speak and also share. We don't just talk to them, we allow them to speak. And a lot of them have relationships with God, and they bring so much to the table. So we have powerful young people that come. Like Tamanya say, where anything can happen. That's for sure. That's her. That's the slogan. Like, anything can happen. So it is like, expect the unexpected, and we just let God use whomever. It's not us preaching at anyone. We all are giving our input. People are giving their testimonies, their stories. We have good food, and it is just a great time. So I'm grateful. Yes, Tamanya. Hey, Makai. I'm sorry, I'm saying hi.
I had Angel Taylor on a couple of weeks ago, and I asked her, now that she's not Trinity 5-7, 1/3 of Trinity 5-7, she's doing her own thing. She's an independent artist now, and like her, like you, her husband is also, really involved in her whole process, her creative process. Matter of fact, she was saying, she was laughing. She was saying her husband has a Grammy and she don't. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I asked her this, and I'm gonna ask you this same question. How does it feel to be able to create in peace? Because it seems to me that everybody that's involved in the Nikea Marie machine is somebody that has vested emotion, interest in her, somebody that loves her, somebody that cares about her, somebody that truly wants her to be successful. And you're not a product. Everybody treats you like a person.
Correct.
That they truly love or whatever. So, like, how does it feel? Because there are a lot of artists that don't have that luxury. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the luxury to be able to create the type of music that they want to make in the time that they want to make it, in the atmosphere that they want to make it. And they
Right.
don't they're trying to become, they've been told that they can be the next, going by what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're trying to fit into this mold, but you don't have those issues. So
Yeah.
like, what does it feel like to be in that type of atmosphere?
It feels amazing. And I think so often I was chasing, um, trying to be in that space where people controlled because I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, or, I was again looking at everyone else's process and what they had, and trying to see, well, maybe I don't write well enough. So let me find some people that can write me a hit song.
Mhm,
Tried that, failed bad.
mhm.
Someone wrote me a song. I was like, this not it. But
Right,
but I was just trying to see, like, well, maybe it's me, but it wasn't. Like, again, it's the timing. And sometimes you're not supposed to, again, follow a route. But I love the peace. I love the fact God has placed people in my life, like Jana, like Marette Brown Clark, who consistently push me and encourage me to be who I am, and they provide all types of opportunities for me because they believe in me, and they love what I do, and that's all I needed. Of course, God as well, but to have people in your corner that's like, yo, this is dope. Like, stick to this and let's let's go. Like, and don't overthink, and don't beat yourself up and think you're not doing something. Like, to have a great squad of people, even a guy, Troy Edwards, like, people God has just sent my way that have come along to say, we got you. Like, we're gonna push this. And I kind of was like, God, you're gonna bring the people to me instead of me chasing them, because the wrong
right,
people were coming along. And he just
right.
brought the right people in my circle, and I was like, wow, like, this is better than I could have imagined. Like I told you before, my mom passed away. She was my manager, and
Hmm.
she would harass Marette. You got to hear my daughter. You got to hear my daughter. And Marette would be like, okay, okay. And so she was like, you got to hear. So her and Marette talked for a while, and she was like, let me hear your daughter. So she would listen to my music, and she was like, okay, like, she's good. Of course, like, we had a little janky studio in the house, so it wasn't like that great, but we did what we
Right,
could do. And she was like, but I see the potential. And
right, right.
so after when my mom passed, she ended up coming to the funeral Marette did. And she was like,
Wow,
Nikea, she was like, God told me I'm supposed to take you up under my wing, and I'm supposed to
wow.
carry on what your mom was doing. And I was like, what? Like, I was just boohooing and just like, what is happening? And just to see just her support and love has just been so incredible. She took me on as like my auntie, and I'm so grateful for her. And Miss Jana, she came along, was like, look, we
Shout
riding.
out to
And
Santa.
Jana, she called me, what are you doing today? What we doing today? Like, get it together. You got things to do. And so I'm so grateful for all of them. And I'm grateful, like you said, just to have the peace, man. That is priceless. Peace is priceless.
Just as a side note, Jana,
Jana.
Jana, Nikki, when the first time I wanted to have you on, her and Jana and I communicated to get the particulars and the logistics and everything together or whatever. And we have talked and we have grown and we joke around a lot. But Nikea, she has become one of my best friends.
Shut up. Oh,
Yeah,
I
she
love
is like one of my best friends. And one of my worst fears was that I didn't want her to think that I was befriending her because of you. You know what I'm saying?
oh.
And so I was cautious, but we were cool, you know what I'm saying? And as time has gone on, she has become one of my closest friends. Like seriously, she is like my big sister. And
Wow.
I truly I love her. I do.
Oh,
I truly have love for her. And
beautiful.
she is a dope person to have in your corner.
For
Like
sure.
I think that she's as important as the music itself.
That's right. For sure.
You know, so that's amazing. She's
Oh,
amazing. Shout out to her.
she's beautiful. She's I mean, she's no cut cards though. She say what she say
Right,
whatever she needs to say,
right,
but needed like she'll tell you in love but yeah, she don't play either. She
right,
she don't
right,
play but I love her so much. Like
right.
it's just a blessing to have her a part and just the love, like you said, her becoming your friend. Like
Mhm.
she always say like I don't be friends with my artists, but she knows she love me. She knows she love me.
Yeah, right,
You know you love me,
right,
Gianna. You know you want to be
right.
my bestie. But so
She
yeah,
is,
she's
she
like,
is, yeah, she is a super dope person. I was gonna
yeah.
ask you, um, she's tripping.
What she
Um,
say? I can't see. What
my-
she say?
she said my allotment is not gonna go up. But now that's a inside thing because I'm doing a documentary with Lisa McClendon later on this
I
month.
know. Okay, so you're doing it too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We went to school
Okay.
together, like we know each other. So like I'm she asked me to do it, so I'm doing it. So we've been working to get
Okay.
she's been working
Okay.
with me on it.
I love
So
it.
she's been giving me a hard time. But
I told you.
anyway,
I love it. I'm just trying to get a feature with Lisa. That's all I asked for. Just Lisa and I can do a song together. That was it. That's all I
listen,
asked.
I'm sure she'll do it. I'm sure she
I know
will.
she will. She does.
I'm
Because
sure
that's
she
my
will.
song. You are holy. Ah! That's
Right. Yes. 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 That's the joint.
that's
Absolutely.
oh God. I can search the
Absolutely.
listen.
Absolutely.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
we just need to do a song together, or she could add something to good. We'll figure it out. So
Yes.
that's just gonna be
Absolutely. Absolutely. You heard it. You heard it, Lisa. Shout
right
out to
here.
you. You
Yes.
heard it. Um, I was gonna ask you, um, since this whole process started, who are you most surprised to find out knew who you were? But I guess I would have to say Marette Brown Clark. Would that be the answer to that question at this point? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
who would you be most surprised to find out, was aware of the project and supported the project and knew who you were? Like who are you were surprised to hear from?
For real. I would say Marette for real. Like she is really like I said, she doesn't just put her on your necessary. Okay, Janet. Well, you do it. That's what you're supposed to do. Get her and put her on the song. So that's a sidebar. So no,
Yeah.
but Marette has been, like I said, such a blessing in pushing. She was a part of the process of the whole album. Like I would send her the tracks and say, "What do you think of this?" And she would say, "That's good," or I would switch this up. So it was just real dope to have her voice and just her being a part. And she just saw the growth because the music she heard when my mom was alive, she's like, girl, like just to see the maturity, the growth, the
Right.
sound it's just crazy. It's just really a blessing. And like I said, I'm grateful. I'm so grateful for her. And she's taking time out just to say, like, come on, like meet me and let's talk. And outside of music, like just advice and like motherly. It's like God had her here, like really to be another mother to me. Like I'm just again just so honored. And of course, Erica Campbell shouting me out and having, the I Believe in Me. We're gonna get good on her show again. And just having just people just in awe has been amazing. And just having people say, hey, your music has blessed me to where I didn't kill myself. That's just like
Wow.
bananas. Like
Wow.
who does that? Like that is
Right.
a major impact. And sometimes it's not the big name people that really bless me. It's just the everyday people that are like, yo, like I listen to this when I wake up in the morning, the song Breathe and just all the music is just ministering to them. It just makes the process, man, like, wow, God, like You are so, so good how you just do what you do. So
That's
yeah,
a fact.
listen, I'm just so, it's humbling. It is so humbling because, like you said, to know your life is impacting someone else's, that they chose to live because they listened to breathe, or they chose to not kill themselves because someone told them you're necessary, and you take for granted the fact that you have people in your life that are pushing you or encouraging you. Not everyone has that, and sometimes
Right.
it's like, they're like, yo, I just need something to keep going, and to know that that's something that God gave me to put out is blessing people to keep
That's
moving.
a fact. That's a
It's
fact.
amazing. It's amazing.
There are a lot of people that have talent, but not everybody is gifted. And I believe that, I believe when I listen to your project, I listen to the writing, so well thought out, so heartfelt, and it's coming from a real place. Talent is the ability to do a thing, but the gift is the impact that said thing has on whomever. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? There are a lot of people that are talented that can sing, you know, the rafters to the rafters,
Yeah.
but only a chosen few are truly gifted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I truly believe that you're gifted. You know what I mean? When I listen, even now, when I listen to "You Are Necessary," it does it to me every time. Like I'm tearing
Oh,
up talking
you
about it. It does it to me every time. You know what I'm
oh,
saying? So
no.
like, listen, never take for granted. Never take for granted. And I don't know why I'm telling you this, but never take for granted the position that God has put you in, because what a lot of us do, especially as Christians, and I don't mean to come off preachy, but what a lot of people do as Christians, we're taught be humble, be meek, be humble, be meek. And I think sometimes we don't understand the meaning of that.
Hmm.
So like for instance, you might come to me and say, "Hey Mike, I just put out this album, Breathe." Or better yet, I come to you and I say, "Hey Nikea, I heard about that little album you got, Breathe." You hear how I say little album,
A
you know
little
what I mean?
Al, he's a hater.
Right. And then what you'll say, "Well, I'm just trying to do my little thing, I'm trying to do a little
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
something." So now I got you doing it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You talking about little, 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 little. But
Yeah.
no, God has been showing me we have to embrace our greatness
Hmm.
because it comes from Him. Like you were saying the scripture earlier about I can do all things.
That's right.
Well, it's okay to proclaim that you can do all things as long as you acknowledge where the help comes, where that comes from, where the ability comes from. So
Yeah.
that's why you say, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me."
The
You know what I'm saying?
crisis.
Well, you know where the power comes from.
That's
So
right.
never take for granted the gift that you have, because humility is not the things that you turn down. Humility is the things that you accept, because
Mm.
when you accept things, that means that you are in essence putting off the things that you actually want at a given time to
Mm.
accept whatever call that God has given you. So it's
Yeah.
not humility is not you're not supposed to your head is not supposed to be down. That's not humility.
Yeah.
Humility is lifting your head up to say,
Yeah.
"I accept.
That's
I'm
right.
going to take away my I'm going to not deal with this fear. I'm not going to deal with this doubt. I'm not going to think about what people are going to say or think about what I'm doing. I'm going to
Come on.
accept, and
Yeah.
I'm going to be bold in my acceptance of whatever mantle you place on me." You know what I
Come
mean?
on.
And I don't know why I'm telling you this, but
I'm like,
I'm
we want
feeling
an
led to
offering.
tell you.
If you wanted an offering, that's all you had to say.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I just feel led to tell you that. You know,
No,
but a lot of times we look at humility the wrong way.
for
We
sure.
think that humility is downgrading ourselves,
Yeah.
or not. Somebody says we're great. Yes, God made me great. Yes, I'm accepting that. Yes,
Come on.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so never it's not arrogance as long as you always acknowledge Him in all your ways. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Acknowledge where the power comes from.
Yeah.
Um,
Come on, you better preach. Y'all better tell him he better preach. Now you know you're doing your good preaching on tonight.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Who is Nikea Marie's dream collaboration?
Oh, that's a good question. Lisa McClendon, you get her.
Oh my God!
Look,
Okay.
Me and Jonathan McReynolds, and me and Mally Music. I always see myself up there in the middle of the stage while they got the guitar, and it's gonna happen, Jonathan. So, so we could do a little cycles, and you're good, and figure it out. But yeah,
Have
that's
you
who I
have
want to
you
go.
have you met him yet?
Oh my goodness, me and Jonathan actually tried out for Sunday Best at the same time. That's where we first.
Wow!
That's a whole nother
Wow!
story. Yes, he went in a couple before me, and of course got a good yay, and then I got the no. But but it's okay, you know, it's all right. Then we did a gospel cruise, and he performed on the gospel cruise, and I did like you know, when they do the talent, they got you like in the back of the boat trying to see. And I was singing in there trying to get people, you know, Bobby Jones. He loved me, but the other people was trash. I mean, they're not trash. Yeah, bless the Lord.
Wow!
So Jonathan got to go in the VIP, and I was, you know, I was like, well, congratulations. He was like, just keep your head up, and I'm like, whatever. So,
Wow.
so you had don't laugh, Mike. I am, you know, God is working on me. He's still working on me. So they put me in the back of the ship. I was like, who? I was like, what is happening? But it's okay. But that's how we've crossed paths. We went at the Stella Awards. I don't think he remembered, but I told him the story. But yeah, we're gonna do some things together. Mally had a concert. I met him there. But I didn't tell him I wanted to sing with them. But yeah, they're gonna know after today that we're gonna do a song together. So,
I know that's right.
and when it happens, you have proof that we said it was gonna happen. All right. So just make sure you got it. All right, Jan on here, make sure you know that's what we're doing. So
listen,
so yeah,
Jana is connected. She might be on the phone with them right now while you tripping. She might be on the phone.
Come on, dial the number, sis. Hello.
She's like, oh, that's nothing.
Get on the call, sis.
Exactly.
I think that would be dope. I think that would be really, really dope. And we could do a little tour. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Then I think we should do. Then I want to do like a lady, a women in gospel with Corinne, Hawthorne, Jacqueline, me, and Kiera. I think that would be dope to do something.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna come. Yeah.
So. I like how you just slid that in there, even though I didn't ask it. You just kind of like slid it.
That's what we about to do. That's what we gonna do. That's right. And Erica Campbell can host it, and Tina. And then you know we'll have us come and do some stuff. So that's gonna happen. So make sure you remember I told you.
Absolutely. Do you listen to your own music?
I do. It's sad. I listen to myself, and yeah, if you come over here, you're gonna hear me. So so yeah, I am very big on because it ministers to me. Sometimes I have to remind myself you're necessary in the days I don't feel like continuing on, and I got to tell myself, God, you're good, and to breathe and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I listen to it every day for real.
Okay.
And
so on the flip side of that, as a creative, as a person who writes their material, are you careful with the amount of music, other people's music that you listen to? Are you mindful of how much you listen to, or does it matter? Do you think about it at all?
I love music just as a whole. Like I just love gospel, good music. You know, I was a Brandy fan, so so I always, you know, but my mama didn't let me listen to her, so I would just I would go to my friend's house and tell her put Brandy on so I can hear her. So
that's my top three. That's one. She's one of my top three. Yes.
Yeah, I was a Brandy fan, man. I was like sitting up in my room. Yes, Brandy. You better sit in your room, sis.
Never, never
But
say never is my favorite project.
don't make me pass out. But like
Yeah.
no, but then I was a big Kier Shear fan, Kirk Franklin, like because I felt like there was a lot of excitement in music. So when Kirk came out with Stomp and Mary with Shackles, I was like, this what I'm talking about. Like, thank you, because the gospel before I was like, help me. I was falling asleep. Like
Ah,
I was like, help me.
yeah.
But yeah, oh yeah, Kiki for sure. Kiara Sheard, I love. And then who else? That I like Yolanda though. Open my heart, like that Yolanda Adams. I
Mhm.
went to see her. I met her. She was so sweet. And yeah, and then I love choirs with Hezekiah, John P. Keith, like all the choir. Anybody with a choir, I'm singing loud
Yeah.
in John P. Key, man. I was in the front at every concert. But I just love gospel. It's just a good news and make you feel good. Like I love listening to the music and how it has just changed over time, and it's just becoming more. Oh yeah, Yolanda girl. It's becoming, more about people's life. Like that's why I love Jonathan McReynolds, because he really like dealt with life stuff, like the cycle stuff. And I was
Mhm.
like, yes, that's my kind of music. So I'm grateful for what it's doing. Oh, Canton Jones, that's my brother. Like
Yes.
Ken Jones, man. When I tell you, and the truth, that's my brother too. Like we did tour together, and them dudes had me jumping up all crazy. But I need to do a tour with them too. I need to call them. But but Ken Jones and the truth, those are my friends, and Canton is amazing. Like we
Yeah.
kept talking
Canton
about
is my Canton Jones. Not to cut you off. When Canton Jones is my dream collaboration, by the way.
for real.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you need to do
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
It's gonna
So we're
happen.
gonna and then we'll all do one together. I'm gonna do my
Yeah.
Ken Jones thing, and then you do Ken
Yeah.
Jones. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you heard his "I'ma
Absolutely.
say ain't gonna stop cussing." Like I was like, you better say it.
Yes. And
That
even
was
the
that real music,
and even the
honest.
what's the joint? What's the joint? He loved me when
Yeah,
nobody cared. He loved me.
you better
Yeah.
say.
Oh,
You
oh,
better say.
oh.
Yes, come on and
Yeah, I
sing.
love it. Bro.
Yeah,
That's my
those
joint.
are. So we're gonna do our collabs together. So I'm here
Yes,
for it.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. um, when you look at your career, up to this point, like all the things that you've experienced, even in, with the COVID and, from the point that you started to where you are now,
Mhm.
um, do you feel the same? Like, and what I mean by that is, and I think I already know the answer, but the fire and the enthusiasm that you had
Mhm.
the first
Yeah.
time you put on headphones to
Mm.
record a song, or first time you grabbed a pen and pad to write an idea down, to the point where you're at now, like, do you feel the same motivation? Do you feel the same enthusiasm? Do you still have the same passion? Do you feel like you still have the same passion that you did the first time you decided
I
to,
write my song. The first song I wrote, I was probably 11 years old, and it was called "Bring the Daddies Home" because I would go to my friends' houses, and their daddy wasn't around, and I was
Mhm.
like, "Where's your dad?" And they was like, "He's not here," and I'm like, "Never," So and that was just weird to me because I'm like, "But I have my daddy, and what's going on?" So
Right.
I was just like, Lord, bring the daddies home, and I wrote a song and I sung it for church. And the pastor was like, we need you to go in the jail cell with the men, and we need you to sing this song. And I'm like, jail. Like, that's where my friend at.
Right.
Oh my
Wow.
God. So I was like, oh God. I was like, I might see her dad there.
Right.
So
Wow.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So I went in there.
Wow.
I'm a little girl, like, and I was very nervous, but I literally started singing the song, and it was like, it was like, oh Lord, bring the daddies home. Mothers are alone, trying to make it on their own. And so I'm singing, and I'm like, your children need you, and they're crying, and then one of the men was like, well, you need to write a song called Mama Need to Let Daddy Back In. Because
Now
I
you're
can come
starting
home.
to
Yeah, she don't want me
Yeah.
back. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to say. I was like, I don't
Right.
know. Mama need to let him back in. So
Right.
nevertheless, that was the first song. That was one of my first songs
Wow.
that I wrote. But I
That's
mean, I would
amazing
go,
that you still
I would
remember
do, yeah, I would do men's conferences and sing it. I did, Miles Monroe was really close with our family. He sent me to the Bahamas to sing it. Like, it was at
Wow.
his church. Like, it was a real big song. So I was just in amazement at the time, being so young. And I would say to now, I'm still in amazement because to see the impact is again, that's all I've known. Like, I've just known, like, I've been in the jail cells, I've sung songs that people are like, wow, like that hits home. And even now, that is the trend. Like, the trend is that it hits the heart, and it hits something
Right.
inside of me to be like, oh wow, like I need to get it together because my kids and family need me as a man, and or mama need to let me back in, or whatever the case is. But yeah, that has been the standard of how I write. And it's just always something that is going to check you to say, wow, okay, how can I shift and do something different, or be better? And, that was really a prayer that I wrote about the dads. And then I wrote another prayer for the family that, that children obey your parents. And it was just a whole thing. And we did a tour for families. But yeah, I felt more, I just as inspired as I did back then. I'm grateful for the space to have creativity, because I actually was going to be signed to a label when I was 17. And they, wanted me to go in a whole nother direction. And
Right.
I was like, nah, I don't really want to do that. And I was like,
Right.
but then they were like, well, why don't we take your music and just, see what happens with what you've already done, and let's see what it does. And it did really well. And then
Mhm.
the guy that was running that label ended up having to run Kirk Franklin's label. So he actually had to shut the
Mhm.
label down. So I was like, Lord, I felt like I was just like back out there on the street again. But
Right.
it was just great to just be a part of something where people just really admired. And I had a voice. I appreciate him because he was like, if you want to do this, then we'll do it. Like, we trust what you say. And I'm 17, like, let's rock, and it was a
Yeah.
good run. But being here now, like, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for this space, for the music, even what's to come, the new songs that I'm working on. So I'm excited.
Awesome. 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 So we're here. Let's take a walk, and I'm sitting here with Miss Nikea Marie, and we have talked about everything from music to ministry to COVID and how its effect and stewardship of good times and bad times and
Come
you
on.
name it. And I still think we just only scratched the surface, but it is what it is. So this is I know that your time is precious. So I only have one more official question for you. And it's a question that I've asked you before. Uh
Uh-oh.
what would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already for you to consider your life a success? What does
Mm,
success look like for Nikea Marie specifically?
I'm successful. I mean, things that have happened in my life, like, I can't even, we'll be here all night to go down the list of things. The main thing for me would be the blessing of my son. I mean, me being a mother to him, man, to me, that is major success. And my oldest son, for people that don't know, he was diagnosed with a lot of things. He was, autistic. They told me he would have issues communicating. He would have issues in school. Like when he was born with a cleft palate where he has like a hole in the back of his mouth. And I mean, just everything you could think of, you're coming out having a kid. And first of all, it took me a minute to get pregnant because they said that would be a struggle. And I was just like, well, I believe God's going to give us a son. And he said, he told me what my son was going to be and everything that he had issues with. I'm just like, well, God, how's he going to do that if this is what's happening? And so, make a long story short, just going through the process of my son in hospitals and one procedure after another procedure. Then he wasn't speaking. They said he needed, a lot of different things with speech, and they were just like, he's gonna have, struggles, and even putting him in the autistic class. I was just like, hey, I was like, God, you gave him to me. I trust you with him, and I'm just gonna continue to see your hand on his life. And I'm telling you, God has just done so much stuff that I forgot they said he had. And they'll be like, oh, he doesn't have that anymore. Or we looked at the charts and we're not seeing this. And even with him being autistic, like when we moved, he went to a different school and they were like, he does not have autism. Like they was like, he does not have that. So just to see like, and they're like, this boy on the paper that they gave us does not match the boy we see. And so just to see like God move, like that's success to me. Like what, like to see, the promises of God, that he's not forgotten the things that he told you, to see like my faith, man, like no one can tell me God can't do something because I'm a witness, man. He could do anything but fail. Like to see my babies, to see the process of God's hand on him, and that to me has been successful. And to see God be true to his promises, like all this other stuff, it don't matter. Like, I'm a praying mother. Like I pray for my baby. Like I'm like, nah, like we gonna see God come through, and God has done it. And he continues to just blow my mind when it comes to that little boy. And I know that there's something on his life that he's gonna change the world. He plays sports, like they said he wasn't gonna be able to play sports. He plays every sport. He has a speech teacher. He's speaking. Now I'd be like, just hush. Sometimes I'm like, I know I asked you to speak, but be quiet. You talk too much. So you just gotta be careful what you pray for, because now he won't stop talking. but no. So it's just God is good. It goes back to the song, God, you are amazing. You're good, and those are things that I feel like is success in my life, and I'm so honored. At first, I'm not gonna lie, when I first had him, I go tell my testimony all the time. I always said, like, why would you give me a broken baby? Like that was really my I was like, why would you give me a broken baby? Like, what is happening? Like I have lived for you my whole life. Why would you do this to me? Like you must have got me mixed up with Shaquisha or something like that. This ain't supposed to be my life. This ain't supposed to be my story, okay? I didn't sign up for this. But God's like, you can handle it. Like, I trust you. Like, I know you can handle this. And I'm like, wow, you don't even know like what you can and can't handle until you're actually in it. And what God is doing to me as a woman, as a mom, and even connecting with other mothers who have similar stories about, just their children. And that's really talking is just amazing, because some people feel embarrassed about the things that their children go through. But it's a blessing, man. Like I'm like, we don't see it that way, but I see now I see like that it's a blessing in everything that you go through. God is doing something. And so yeah, don't be embarrassed by anything that you've been dealt. Like just trust God with it and watch what he does. So I know that was a long answer, but
No, I
yeah,
know. Listen, you get it out, because that's what this platform is about. But Joquisha is probably somewhere like, who is she talking to? Who's she talking to? Why is she talking about
I
me?
know she's not talking about me.
Right.
You better watch it. You better
She
watch
probably,
it.
she probably somewhere like on site, on site.
No disrespect, Quisha. It was just a little, it was immature at the time. I was really immature. So don't mind me. I
That's
was just telling
amazing. That's amazing. So what does Nikea Marie have next? What can we expect from her? Performances, concerts, tours. What do
yes,
we? What's
all of
next?
that. International. I mean, we going international. We got some dates coming up. We got some more acting, and also, like I said, my master class is going to be amazing. It's the beginning of something bigger. It's really building a community with us as artists, singers, and producers. And like, if you have an event and having like a community of people like, hey, we're gonna go support your event, or hey, you need support, we're gonna sing background on your track. Like you have a community of people that we're just gonna be in support of, and Marette is gonna be like our auntie that's gonna really help us in
Right.
different things, where she'll listen to your song and be like, no, let's try something else. And you're gonna have a team of people that we want to really like build this big community of artists and producers and stuff. So it's going to be really bigger than just the event on April 13th. So that I'm excited about. And yeah, like I said, a lot of international things, colleges, going to doing some collabs. Really working on a collab with Jacqueline. So it's some
Nice.
things coming. So I'm excited. Yeah.
Nice. Um, so if somebody wanted to get involved with something that you're doing, including the April 13th event, how can they get in touch with
You can follow me on Facebook, Nikea Marie. You can also go to NikeaMarie.com, Nikea, Nike with the A, and NikeaMarie.com. And then you can follow me on Instagram, Nikea Marie. And they got me on TikTok. And Nikea Marie too. My nieces, they're all like, you need a TikTok. So I'm on TikTok. And you can follow me on there. You have TikTok, Mike? You need to get on
you?
there.
You know what? No, I don't, but I am going to get it. I am
Yes,
going to
you
get it.
gotta get that's where it is. You gotta get on TikTok. TikTok make you
Yeah.
feel like you famous. They love you all
Okay.
the time.
You are okay, so you are confirmation, because you are like the third person that has said that to me. So you
Yeah.
are you are confirmation.
All
Uh,
right, come on, let's get it.
you are you are necessary.
You better use
uh,
my song.
absolutely.
Thank you,
So Miss
Makai. Makai over here putting my stuff up.
Absolutely. You listen, shout out your church, because they are like representing to the 100 million degree.
Yes, Zion Church of Fredericksburg in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We have services at 11 a.m. on Sundays, and I lead worship
What's your
there.
pastor's name?
Well, we working through that. We got on the pastors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you got amazing people. We got amazing people there. So yeah, just you gonna come for the word, faith, fellowship, and fun. It's amazing. So God is good.
Okay, Zion of Fred is looking for a pastor.
I didn't
So
say that.
all pastors, send your resumes to NikeaMarie.com.
I didn't say that. Oh my God. They're gonna kick me off the line. I didn't
No,
say.
I'm playing. I'm
I did
playing.
not
I'm
say that.
playing.
He said that. I did not say nothing. We are.
Nah, I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing.
Oh
Do
God.
not send your resumes to. Do not send them to NikeaMarie.com. Please do not.
Don't
I
send
was
me
joking. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Oh my God. You're
Mr.
crazy.
Key, I wanna thank you for coming on the platform yet again. I
Oh,
appreciate I appreciate your transparency, and you're already doing well, but I just I just feel that there's so much more. Like it's just so much more. Like we're just seeing just a little bit at this point of what you're actually becoming. You know,
yeah. Yeah.
when I say your project is very, very well put together, that's not that's not just a exaggeration or something I just said about around the way because I got you on here.
Yeah.
Um, it is really a lot of times when you listen to projects nowadays, it's really just a playlist. Like they got a
Mhm.
bunch of singles and they put them all on the song, but it's not doesn't really take you anywhere.
Yeah.
Your project takes you somewhere. It takes me somewhere. Like I see myself in it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way, but it takes me on a journey. I'm not just like
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going, you're taking me somewhere. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Which lets me know that God is truly everything that you're doing is God led because it's in a it has a divine order to
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's really, really dope.
Thank
And a lot of
you.
people don't do that. Not even Christian artists
No.
do that. So that's really, really dope. And I absolutely wish you much blessings on everything that you have going forward, and even the things that haven't come across your desk or come across your mind yet. I wish you much
Yeah.
blessings on that as well.
I
And again, I
appreciate you.
just thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for being on here again for the fourth time as
Yeah,
a vet. So thankful. And I'm sure I'll be back again, especially when
absolutely,
I get on my collabs and stuff. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna play back what I
absolutely.
said, and you're gonna be like, "You said,"
Yes,
and then I'll bring
yes,
Jonathan and Mally, and we're gonna talk about it. So
yes,
yes, thank you. Thank
absolutely.
you.
Is there anything you want to leave with the audience before we sign off?
Oh man, just know like I'm gonna use your song. Just know you're necessary. Just know that God is calling. I mean, in this season, I just believe He is raising people up that the world has never seen before. We've been
Nice.
hidden for so long, and I know this season He's just been saying like, "Come out of hiding." Like He's just getting ready. Like a lot of things are being exposed in like
Mhm.
the negative sense, but they're also getting ready to be exposure with the people He's kept hidden. Like you're getting ready to be exposed in a way unlike any other. And so I know, you may have been doing this for so long, or you've been waiting and you've been feeling like you're forgotten, but I'm telling you, just keep on holding on. I'm telling you, He is doing some great and amazing things, and He has not forgotten about you. And don't get weary. Keep on pressing, keep running.
Absolutely.
And go
Wow.
get my song good and go download it on Amazon, Spotify, all the other places that you get music. Go get my song, get the album, and don't just download it, buy it. They give you five pennies a stream. That ain't gonna pay this bill, but buy it. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay, so we go on that note. We're gonna hurry up and get her off here. Um, Again, we thank you. We thank you and we appreciate you.
I
And
appreciate
again, I wish you much blessings, man. It could just continue to do just continue to do what you're doing, and I know it sounds cliche, but just continue to keep God first, man. And there's no limit to what you can do or be. So
it. Yeah, for sure.
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Thank you for
much.
allowing me to be a part of your journey.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Looking forward to all that you're doing. So keep me posted.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. All right. Well, you have a great night and an even more awesome weekend, and we will talk soon.
Yes, sir. See you guys.
there you have it, guys. Another amazing, 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 amazing episode of Let's Take a Walk with Miss Nikea Marie. Um, I mean, what can I say after that? Like, she said it all. It's like, trust God. Trust God. Because as she alluded to in the interview, there are people that are assigned to us, that are attached to us, that are waiting for us to make certain decisions and certain moves. And in this case, maybe writing certain songs or scripts or producing certain beats. I don't know, whatever the case. But anyway, they're waiting for us to make certain moves, go left or right, up or down, whatever, yes or no. So that's why it's important that if God is giving you something, place the seed within you, no matter how young or wise, as my pastor would say, um, walk in it, because there's a place for, if he gave it to you, then there's a place for it. If he placed it in your belly, there's a place for it. If he placed it in your heart to do, there's a place for it. God is not in the business of just giving you random stuff just for the sake of being able to do it. Everything is in a divine way connected. So, you know, whether it be a conversation or a thought or a dream or, you know, a random meeting, you know, can spark anything, can spark something truly great. And so, with that being said, as I always encourage you guys, if there's something that God has placed within your heart, placed within your mind, something that keeps you up at night, something that, you can almost touch, that you can see yourself doing, um, now is as good a time as any to walk in it, to do it, be it. If you're an architect, be an architect. If you're an artist, be an artist. If you are a writer, be a writer. Whatever the case may be, walk in it, be it today, right now, be it. No, you may not have all the degrees and the credentials that go along with it at this present moment, but if God said you're it, then you're it. So be it, and that's and that's what I'm, you know, impressing upon you tonight. Um, I want to thank Miss Nikea again for coming on and being so transparent and so, just so real. That's a word that, we throw around kind of loosely, but when it's deserved, it's deserved. She's very transparent, very real, very awesome. I could talk to her all day. You know, her story is amazing. Her testimony is amazing, and it's leading to a ministry that's amazing. So she is an example of stepping out on faith, stepping out on what God has given her to step out for, and it's making an impact on not only in her house but in your house too. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to leave you. I pray that you have an amazing weekend, night and weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. So with that being said, let's take a walk.